One thing we know for sure is that the president has already given an early gift while on the annual family vacation in Hawaii, taking the girls home to Washington, leaving the First Lady behind for an extra few days of vacay with some of her close friends, including Oprah. She looks so fantastic. And just to be clear, Mrs. Obama says she doesn't imagine having plastic surgery, but she's learned never say never.
Isn't that wonderful? You know, Lara Spencer once kissed me on the cheek. I'll tell that story one day. I just thought I'd throw that out there. She wasn't known to the world that much, but she once kissed me on the cheek. There you go. Anyway, welcome back to the Steve Malzberg Show. Joining us right now, he never thought he'd learn that bit of juicy information, is Christopher Hahn, Democratic political commentator, Fox News regular. Welcome, sir. Good to see you.
Great to be Lara Spencer when she was called Lara something else.
No, she was actually Lara Spencer. That's a long
story. She was Lara
story.
Van something or else when I met her, and she was a reporter for News 12 Long Island.
Oh, really? Oh, you knew her back then?
She interviewed me when I a long time when I was like 22.
Well, when she first started on the air as a reporter on Channel 7 Eyewitness News, a friend of mine was a news writer there, and we were hanging out in a bar, you know, a nice bar up in the Upper West Side somewhere, and I don't remember the exact circumstance, but she kissed me on the cheek, so that's my claim to fame.
She must have had one too many.
Probably. Anyway, all right, so all this Michelle Obama, first of all, that little report didn't make reference to the fact that Michelle Obama, cost us another flight home from Hawaii, security detail, she stayed there, and all this 50th birthday party. You know, let me just tell you what Good Morning America, the same program we just saw Lara Spencer on, when it was Playboy, quote, First Lady Laura Bush is also on the campaign trail on this, her 60th birthday. I mean, this is insane. So she's turning 50. So what is this? Is she like the queen of our country? I don't get it.
Well, could you at least say she looks great for 50? Steve?
I guess I don't.
Can you just say something nice about the First Lady on her birthday? She looks fantastic.
Oh, wonderful.
All right, and yeah, look, she's a lot more popular than Laura Bush was.
Is she?
Among the media.
Really?
Among
the media.
Yeah,
I wonder why.
We do like her a lot.
I wonder why.
And we like Laura Bush too, and Laura Bush looked great for 60 as well. So let's just be honest. It's good living. It's healthy living, those two.
You know what?
I'm going to say yes. And who cares about the extra plane ticket, Steve?
Who cares?
They got to live their lives.
Really?
She's the First Lady.
They got to live their lives separate flights back and forth, and it's not the first time they've done it.
I'm taking notes when there's a Republican president.
All right,
I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about this.
So the people who are not getting their unemployment benefits, they should look at, they need their $300 a week. They should look at the hundreds of thousands it costs for Michelle Obama to fly separately back from Hawaii.
There's a budget for this, and the president has not raised his budget.
There's a budget for this?
Of course there is.
Really? He gave her. I heard he gave her a present.
He gave her a couple of days without the kids, Steve.
It was like a couple of weeks.
Days without the kids. Give her a break.
But Michelle
Obama
Obama,
works hard in this country for free.
You know what worries me though? When Michelle Obama says it's every woman's right to have plastic surgery if she wants it, improve herself. I'm worried now this is going to be slipped in, if it's not already in, the health care bill. We'll cover plastic surgery for women. Why not? I'm already covering gynecological visits for women. I have to have that coverage.
Well, you should cover gynecological visits.
I should cover it, really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, of course. It's healthcare, man. Women have different parts than men. I don't know if you've read. I don't know where you went to high school.
So women should take out the
parts.
So women should take out the policies they need, and men should take out the policies we need.
There should be specific standards for everyone, and women's standards should have their standards, and men's standards.
Right, but it's not that way. I'm paying for. I have to have gynecological coverage.
You're not paying for anything.
What are you talking about?
No, you're not paying for anything. Preventative care, Steve, actually makes your healthcare bills go down.
Really?
Look it up.
Okay.
Look it up.
By the way, Michelle Obama, I think the media needs to remember that in a New Yorker magazine article, she was quoted, 18-page article, cover story on the campaign trail, and this was kind of her stump speech. Obama begins with a broad assessment of life in America in 2008, and life is not good. Quote, we're a divided country. We're a country that's just downright mean. We're guided by fear. We're a nation of cynics and complacents. Sounds like she really loved America, doesn't it?
She loves America, Steve. Stop
it. Okay, just thought I'd bring that up because nobody else will.
You don't think there's a lot of mean people in America? You don't think there's a lot of cynics in America? You don't think that we're divided?
That we're a nation of cynics?
You live in Manhattan and you're a conservative. You've got to know.
So you think we're down?
You've got to know.
You think we're a downright?
People got to be coming up to you on the street, Steve, and saying, "What the hell's wrong with you on that show?"
Do you think we're a downright mean nation?
No, I don't.
Oh well, she does.
I think there are a lot of mean people in this nation.
That's a different story.
I don't think you're mean. everything.
Thank you very much.
Sometimes you say mean things, but I don't think you're mean particularly.
All right, let's speaking of mean, let's talk about the Chris Christie coverage here. I'm no fan of Chris Christie, just so you know. I mean, I voted for him the first time. I voted for Barbara Buono, who wound up hanging up on me the other day. She didn't know I voted for
Barbara Buono?
and a protest vote. I didn't want Christie to get the 70% he was headed for. Anyway, long story short, here we have the report coming out that no criminal charges filed, probably in the IRS scandal. And nobody's been fired. Nothing's happened. And the woman who investigated it for the Justice Department is a two-time $3,000 contributor to the Obama campaigns and gave money to the Democratic Party. And the media couldn't care less. But Christie.
Well,
You think that's a fair media?
Well, I want to point something out here. You think the IRS scandal is a real scandal, right?
I know it is.
So
I know the people who've been audited.
The Christie Bridgegate thing to the IRS scandal, so you think it's a real scandal?
I think what Christie's administration did is abhorrent.
Do you agree
Abuse
with Bruce,
of power.
Do you agree with Bruce Springsteen? It was the
Governor Chris
Christie brought me in New Jersey traffic jam, because that's what Bruce Springsteen. That had to hurt. But I will say this.
Answer my question.
Well, the IRA. I've talked to you about the IRS scandal a couple times. I didn't think it was a scandal because I think all these political groups on the left and the right are abusing 501c3 status, and they should all be investigated. Every single one of them.
But they weren't.
Anybody that's got Tea Party in it, anybody that's got progressive in it, they should all be investigated.
But they weren't.
Because 501c3 is for actually helping the poor, and I think it's been abused too much.
But they weren't. It was conservative groups. It was pro-Israel groups.
Well, that's not what was found in the investigation. That there were lots of groups on the left and the right that were investigated.
That's absolutely untrue.
Saying we're getting all these new groups popping up that say Tea Party, and it was an investigation.
So you have no problem with the fact that the woman who investigated for criminal charge was an Obama two-time campaign contributor.
I have no
problem.
So
if the guy Christie appointed to investigate this scandal on his own, which he didn't, but if let's say he had the power to appoint who was going to investigate his own office, if it was a contributor to his campaign, nobody in the media would bat an eye, right?
Didn't Darrell Issa, the shark of the House, wasn't he like trying to investigate Obama? What did he come up with? Nothing, right?
I don't know what
because
you're
there's
talking
nothing
about.
to come up with because it wasn't the White House did not give an order to investigate the Tea Party. You know, we have to find out now who gave the order on this bridge thing.
Why? But where's the? What do you mean we have to find out? Why do we have to find out?
Well, the governor basically said he had nothing to do with it.
Right.
If he had nothing, if it's true that he had nothing to do with it, I think this is going to blow over in a couple of weeks. But he gave himself no wiggle room. None at all. I think you have to admit that.
All right,
so if it turns out that he did have knowledge of this before he was on the Stairmaster in the gym at 8:50 in the morning that day, he's going to have a serious problem, and it's going to be Nixonian in its level.
All right, let's move on to, we're talking to Christopher Hahn here on the Steve Malzberg Show. Let's move on
and by the way, I like Chris Christie. As far as Republicans go, he's one of my...
Of course, because he's a phony Republican.
No, he's not a phony Republican.
Sure
he's a guy who actually wants to govern, and there are not a lot of Republicans.
Govern by giving, here's how phony he is. At the last gubernatorial debate, he was called out on opposing to in-state tuition for illegals for years, and he said, oh, no. I never opposed it. We just couldn't afford it. So now, now we have the money for it, he said. So he went ahead with it. And now I'm paying, as a New Jersey resident, discount tuition for illegal kids. But here's the thing. All of a sudden, New Jersey has money? See, according to his explanation, now we have money.
Dream.
That's crazy.
You know, these kids come here with no fault of their own. They're endowed with inalienable rights by God, not by a line that they were born behind.
Okay.
So let them have the dream.
Right.
That we all
and by
want.
the way,
anybody
watching in Mexico, come on, you heard from Christopher here. Bring your
Unidos.
kids over, and we'll pay for them. Come on. Absolutely. We got plenty of money.
Hey, they come through no fault of their own.
Yeah.
Steve.
Okay.
It's not their fault that their parents brought them here.
Okay. Now let's go on to not Barbara Boxer, but to Dianne Feinstein. I want you to hear, well, I don't know if we'll have time to hear what she told Wolf Blitzer. Basically, let's talk about it. No, not about the drone, about the Benghazi report that came out from the Senate Intelligence Committee yesterday that faulted the State Department for not providing more security. This is a scandal that directly resulted in 4 American deaths, including the death of an American ambassador.
Right.
And Hillary sat there when testifying under oath and said, what difference does it make?
So you believe the report?
And the report said that they should have known they needed more security. The ambassador wrote for more security, and the excuse is Hillary Never saw the letter. So no one's been fired. No one's been held accountable. Nothing has happened. How do you like that for accountability?
Do you accept the report?
How do you mean, do I accept the
report?
report?
Do you think it's truthful?
What, you're going to tell me now a little tidbit that was in it that's
well,
going to get me?
I want to make sure you know.
What tell me.
The report found that there was no cover-up. So if there's no cover-up, there's no scandal. Mistakes were made. Absolutely.
That's a cover-up. Then that's a scandal.
There's no cover-up. The report said
my friend,
specifically no cover-up.
It was a video. Is that not a cover-up?
Nobody knew what it was.
Everyone knew what it was. If you listen to the testimony of the military who spoke.
32 hours, the president called it a terrorist attack. 32
no,
hours.
he didn't, Candy
Absolutely.
Crowley. Thank you very much.
He absolutely.
I looked it up. He did not. No, he didn't call it a terrorist attack. And he did not call it a terrorist attack. He was referring to 9/11. We've played this ad nauseum. He never called it a terrorist attack. In fact, he went on The View way after that and was asked if it was Al Qaeda or a terrorist attack, and he said, we're still looking into that. So give me a break.
Into it.
Oh, please, just pathetic. Anyway, always good to talk to you, Christopher, to see how the other half thinks.
Well, you live in the metropolitan area. Hey, look, good luck going over the bridge tonight. I hear the traffic's going to be okay.
I don't take the bridge.
Thank
but
God.
Anyway, Christopher Hahn, Democratic political commentator, Fox News regular here on the Steve Malzberg Show. All right, folks, so when we come back, we're going to be joined by Jimmy LaSalvia, founder of the conservative gay advocacy group Go Proud. He's left the Republican Party, but he didn't join the Democrats. Steve Malzberg Show, Newsmax TV and radio.